Good afternoon. I get asked all the time, how do you deal with what you're going through? How do you get through it? How do you get through it? How do you get through it? You know, when I was diagnosed, I lost a lot of friends. For some reason, people just disappear when things like this happen. I don't understand that. We'll never understand it. Family disappears, regardless. I tell you how I get through it sometimes. It's um, it's knowing there's something better. You, Everybody always says nice things about my mounts, the wood that I have. I have a friend of mine, Mr. Jackson, who brings me the most incredible pieces of driftwood. He searches for me with me in mind. This is a 70-year-old guy who has a lot of heart. Well, let me just say he has a lot of health issues. He's got more health issues than most people. And all he does is every day visit people and visit people and help people. Visit people and help people. That's all he wants to do is help people. That's all he wants to do. He gets a lot of enjoyment out of it. And he helps so many people, including myself. I'm very, very blessed to include him as a friend. Anyway, he came by after visiting a friend of his, Mary. Mary was dying of cancer and was laying in bed. And he went to go visit her. And Mary said, I think God's forgotten me. Why will he not take me? Why? He told Mary he must have something special in mind. He's planning something special for you, so he's taking his time. And meanwhile, you're going to have to sit here and go through what you have to go through because it's going to be that special, Anyway, a few days later, Mary died. Anyway, he went to the funeral, and Mary was there, beautifully dressed and laid out, and there she is laying in the casket. And Mary was she was a well-endowed lady. She loved food. Food was passionate to her, and she had a fork in her hand, laying in the casket. And a lot of looks went around, and a lot of whispers and stuff. And Mr. Jackson said everybody sat down, and the preacher started talking. And he said, as many of you noticed, Mary has a fork in her hand. He said, let me tell you, I met with Mary a couple of days before she passed. I asked her, what can we do for you? Just name it, we'll take care of it. What can we do for you? And Mary picked out her dress and her jewelry and everything that she wanted, and the arrangements and the flowers and what hymn she wanted sang and everything. And then she said, I also want a fork in my hand. When they lay me out, make sure there's a fork in my hand. And he said, okay, no problem, we'll take care of it. But I got to ask you, that's a first for me. Why a fork? Why? Mary said, well, preacher, as you know, I've always been a church-going lady. The church has always been a big part of my life, and gathering together with members and friends and eating was always a big part of it. And she said, have you ever been to one of those big dinners where you're eating dinner and it's the end of the dinner and they're starting to get coffee served and people are coming around and picking up dishes and there's a lot of commotion and stuff, and somebody leans over and picks your plate up and they lean over to you and whisper, hold on to that fork. You're going to want to hang on to that fork. Well, that's when you know there's something special going. That's how I get through my day.